Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to an episode of Dreadlocks. I'm Gunther the Great, and today we're going to be talking about Lil Uzi Vert's hair and what exactly happened to it. Because I look at pictures now and I'm like, all right, first off, he's not really even showing his hair. I've seen a lot of him wearing a hat lately, but we'll talk a little bit more on that later. There's a whole lot going on. Obviously, we see him from the very beginning, from him with the dreadlocks, and his hair looked pretty dope. Actually, he had some of the best dreadlocks in the game, I believe, at one point. Like, just from dyeing and bleaching and everything like that, they kind of took a wrong turn, and then he ended up combing them out. But we'll talk about the whole process here in today's video. But since this is an update video, and I've already done multiple videos on Lil Uzi Vert, we'll go ahead and talk about just the breakdown of his hair. So we'll start with his hair type, because based on the hair type, you can tell how he started his dreadlocks. So there is a big debate on his hair type because we see his hair now, but we'll talk about that obviously later on in the video. But I believe his hair type is about a 3. Well, I think it's past a 3. It's either a 3C or could be a 4A, possibly even a 4B. A lot of people debate that his hair is probably like a 3B just because of how his hair looks now, but I truly believe that his hair was either permed or that's just the damage of his hair being bleached and dyed, basically drugged in the mud from putting so much chemicals into his hair. So now that we know his hair type being a 3C, possibly 4A or 4B. So then we can go on to the method that he chose in order to get his dreadlocks. So with the way that his dreadlocks looked, especially during the beginning stages, it looked a little bit more freeform. So he could have possibly started out with a sponge rub, which gives more of a freeform like style, or could have even just started out with freeform. So with this photo, you can definitely see his hair type. It looks like a 3C more likely than any of the 4s. Could even possibly be a 3B, to be honest. But to be honest, all that texture at the top is mostly because of, you know, him messing with it, I'm pretty sure. Because if you look at the side of his head and, you know, at his roots, it's very coarse and very thick and very tight curls. So I'm still sticking with a 3C, maybe even 4A. But obviously in this photo, it looks more freeform like. This is probably around the time that he actually started his dreadlocks. So we could say that he started out with freeform, or even before this picture, he probably could have done like sponge rub or something like that, or even just kind of maintaining it every now and again with his hands. But for the sake of this video, you can get your dreadlocks to look like his, or how his used to look, with using a sponge rub. So I'll link the dread sponge down below. Now, as far as maintenance, it doesn't seem like he does too much maintenance when it came to his dreadlocks. It seemed like he probably twisted it maybe like once a month, or maybe even once every 2 months. I think the biggest maintenance that he ever did, if you would want to label it maintenance, would be, you know, dyeing his hair and bleaching it. And the reason I'm saying that is because usually with his dreadlocks, you've seen that his roots were always really thick and not really maintained all the way down to the root. And the only time he would maintain it down to the root is when he did like a braided hairstyle. So if you fast forward some time when he did the actual comb out, which I believe he actually cut some of his dreadlocks because his hair was pretty long at one point. And I think there was actually a time to where he actually cut dreadlocks and reattached them, like Lil Pump, Smoke Rep, and all those people that have done that. Because we did see the dreadlocks in the front being really long. So that's why I'm thinking that he actually cut and reinstalled some. But we did see after that that he did a comb out. So his hair is now out. And that's when we seen him do it in the braid. He did the wishbone braids. He did all kinds of braided hairstyles, box braids, anything. And to be honest, it was very interesting seeing him with braids, and his hair looked quite thin because his braids weren't that thick. And that just really comes with combing out dreads, because not only are you losing the hair that was dead inside of your dreadlocks, but you're losing some hair as you're combing out. You're either breaking some hair or pulling some hair out of the roots. Because many of you guys do know that I actually combed out my dreadlocks a little over a year ago. Now this is the point in time to where he either got a perm or his hair was just really fried, so his curl pattern was actually longer versus tighter. That's why you see his hair looked more frayed and frizzed and kind of just all over the place versus being maintained curls. And I'm really telling you, by the looks of it, it looks like a perm. That's what perms look like if you were to loosen your curl pattern or relax your curls. And to be honest, those can actually be done by doing braids and then doing a braid out. So either way. Now on to the biggest part. Now what is his hair up to? A lot of the times we see him wearing a hat, so it's hard to even see what's going on under there. This is what kind of interested me when people said do a dread update on Lil Uzi Vert, and I'm like, I haven't even seen his hair in the last probably like 6 months, to be honest. Because I've seen his hair in a hat most of the time. I've seen his hair pulled back most of the time, either in the braids, and now I don't even know what's going on with his hair just because of these looks that I see on stage and everything like that. It looks like he doesn't even have hair. For a second, when I seen him with hats all the time, I was thinking maybe he's going bald on top or something like that. And then that's not really the case because we've seen him without a hat, and it looks like he has it pulled back and his hair looks pretty straight. So it most likely is a perm that his hair is actually going through, or has actually been through rather. But what can we expect next with him? I'm not sure if he's gonna restart his dreadlocks or if he already has and I'm just missing it and I haven't seen it yet. But from the photos that I've seen, it looks like he just has a short haircut, but at the same time, it does look like he has a high top fade and he has something pulled back. But I didn't see no ponytails or anything like that. So that must be a really tight ponytail and it's barely even hanging on. But I don't know, you guys let me know down below. I know right now it's kind of interesting seeing his hair like this because it doesn't look like he's doing anything style wise with it, which we usually see Lil Uzi Vert doing stuff like that with his hair, you know, with the blue, the green, the blonde, all kinds of stuff, and kind of emphasizing that as part of his style. But now we don't see much of it, so it's gonna be pretty cool to see what happens next. Comment down below what you guys think he's gonna do. If he already has dreadlocks, please, like, I don't know where you can send me those photos, but I haven't seen any of them. DM me some photos of him with his dreadlocks new, if they are new, in the Dreadlocks DMs. With that being said, make sure to go follow Dreadlocks, because if you tag Dreadlocks, you can be featured on the page, even the channel, if we do dreadlock reviews and stuff like that. And guys, like I said earlier, don't forget to pick yourself up a dread sponge, because this does help out a whole bunch with starting out dreadlocks, especially if your hair is about 2 to 4 inches, and especially for the hair types in the 3s and in the 4s. Now, I definitely would not recommend a dread sponge if your hair is in the 2s or even a 1, because it's not really going to benefit you at all. Although there are people out there with straight hair that have used the dread sponge and say it works, but I wouldn't recommend it. But you guys hopefully enjoyed today's video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Other than that, see you guys next time. Peace.